Real talk, real people, relevant conversations. The I Am Kiana Skills podcast is dedicated to real conversations about issues, emotions, and experiences that affects the lives of everyday people.
I know that's right.
Welcome to the I Am Kiana Skills podcast. Welcome to the I Am Kiana Skills podcast, episode 23, sponsored by the Closet Experience Boutique and Delightful Cakes and Catering. I'm your host, Kiana Skills, and I have the influential Aquanette Cooper with me today, co-hosting.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey. Today we will be discussing emotional healing. If you have ever said any of the following, then you are in the right place. I am tired of being angry. I want to be loved and be loved. I do not feel as though I am enough. I am tired of sabotaging myself. I am hurt inside and want to end the pain. Have you ever experienced any sort of trauma in your life? Most of us have. Perhaps a loved one has passed away. Maybe you have been through some very rough times in life. Perhaps you got out of an abusive relationship or a situation. Time heals all wounds might sound like an encouraging thing to say to someone that is struggling. It is a supportive thing to say. While it is true that time will help and experience hurt less, sometimes wounds take a long time to heal. Sometimes they just never do. There isn't a set timeline for when a wound or any type of wound to heal. Nobody gets to tell you when you should heal or be over something. It doesn't matter what you have been through. If it hurts, it hurts. Somebody say, ouch.
Ouch.
And it can hurt for a very long time. Telling someone they should be over the death of a loved one or should be moving on from an abusive situation that they escaped is not helpful. There is no way to know what someone has gone through and what they are doing to heal from it. You don't get to decide if they should be better by now. It's just not your call. Hello, Aquanette. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. How are you?
Hey, girl, I'm great, I suppose. You ready to help listener land unpack the emotional wounds that have them living in bondage?
Let's do it.
Well, let's start unpacking this episode.
Here we go.
Emotional healing is a topic that no one really wants to talk about. So do we want to talk about it?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
I do.
But yet we all have at one time or the other suffered from emotional or spiritual wounds. We live in a treacherous and crazy time.
Treacherous.
Like yes.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good word.
Yes. We cannot escape the senseless violence and the painful, horrific images we see daily on TV. There is no way any human being can escape being touched by some form of physical, emotional, spiritual, or psychological pain as long as they are living on this earth.
That's right.
So, y'all heard that. You're going to endure some type of pain, some type of trauma in your life. Just keep on living long enough. The question is not whether we will be wounded, but rather, how do we handle the wounds when they occur? Ooh, y'all, this is going to be good. We're going to learn something. How can we deal with the wounds that puncture our souls? Do we cover the wounds up with makeshift bandages and hope they go away someday? What happens if we ignore them altogether? There are moments in life when pain leading to suffering reminds us that there are fragmented parts of us that do require mending and therapy.
Yeah.
There is a clear signal that something is out of balance and requires immediate attention. Did y'all catch that? Immediate attention. Love and care. We must address the negative signals and treat the root cause. This can be achieved through emotional healing, in which the painful life experiences no longer control our thoughts, feelings, and actions. Emotional healing is the ability to take proper control of painful thoughts, feelings, and emotions so that they are not to interfere with your present moments.
Right.
You just can't let those interfere with those present moments. Emotional healing is a process of accepting all the painful life experiences and the negative emotional reaction which is generated from them. It means to be properly mastering the art of coping with various stressors. When emotionally healed, the psychological hurt which was bothering us, does not hold us back. The mental wounds are closed and there is no significant pain. During the process of emotional healing, the past will never be a barrier to living the present moment happily and peacefully. Healing emotions and changing negative thoughts will allow to assemble all the broken parts of oneself.
That's right.
It propels coming to terms with grief, thereby becoming stronger and more confident from within. So, Aquanette, have you ever felt like you were in bondage from traumatic episodes that may have happened or that you may have endured in life?
Oh my gosh, yes. Where do I start? And I can laugh about it now because when you're in the middle of it, number one, you don't know that it is really affecting you. Some of us have learned just how to function. And that's the part that we don't want people to do. We don't want you to just function. Or what a lot of us will tend to do is we'll just stay busy because you don't want to feel those feelings. But yeah, I have definitely had situations that have been traumatic. And the key is to not dismiss the emotion, but to manage the emotion. But a lot of us haven't been taught how to manage that. And it's not to say that you're controlling it, because if you're controlling it, you're dismissing it, but you want to manage it.
So how did you address the emotional aspect of it?
As I've said in many other episodes, therapy.
Yes.
Therapy. But the first thing is you have to realize that there's something that you're just tired of dealing with. Like you said in the very beginning, you're tired. You're tired of feeling a certain way. You're tired of hurting yourself. And we don't necessarily mean physically hurting yourself, but a lot of times we will self-sabotage in other ways, which actually causes us to push other people away from us. So, but yeah, those are some areas there.
Yes. As a Black woman, you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, taking care of kids, building your career or business, and facing many injustices in the world that are often ignored. Society has taught you that you are a strong Black woman, and indeed you are. However, being strong never meant neglecting you.
Right.
Being strong means taking care of that bold, brilliant Black image staring at you in the mirror.
Say that again.
Which is yourself.
They need to hear that. Say that again.
Being strong means taking care of that bold, brilliant Black image staring at you in the mirror, which is yourself. The last time I checked, vehicles needed gasoline to operate, and they needed the owner of the vehicle to maintain the vehicle's weight capacity. I know y'all saying, weight capacity? What this guy? Y'all, I tell y'all every episode that I'm the person that's going to get you off the grid sometime. My mind, I told y'all before, if you're new to us, my mind goes in crazy places. But believe me, you're going to get a gem out of what I say.
Yeah.
So, keep on listening. Y'all hear me? I'm going to start over because I want you to pay attention because I know some of y'all said, what's she talking about? Keep on listening. Don't turn this episode because it's going to bless your life. The last time I checked, vehicles needed gasoline to operate, and they needed the owner of the vehicle to maintain the vehicle's weight capacity when transporting people and objects. So why would you think that you would not need to start unpacking the emotional baggage that you carry? Ask yourself that. Why are you asking yourself that? Keep listening. Auto manufacturers set weight limits for a reason. It keeps the car handling safely. Going over the limit could affect things like handling, fuel economy, stability, braking, rollover resistance, and contribute to mechanical stress. Ooh, child, even your car can get stressed. But y'all don't get it. Told you we going somewhere with this. Y'all just gotta trust me. Trust the I Am Kiana Scales podcast. Y'all just trust me. Nurturing the soul of a Black woman involves connecting to every part of who you are, physically, mentally, and through love. It does not happen overnight. Each moment you give to yourself is a moment closer to being where you deserve to be holistically. Most Black women are groomed early on to be caretakers. They are taught when faced with challenges, they must pull themselves up by the bootstraps. Essentially, they are to be strong, resilient, and selfless. But at what cost?
That's right. Come on, tell us. I'm ready.
These notions negatively impact your mental and physical health in a significant way. Let me hear somebody say, you have no idea.
You have no idea.
Ooh. If you are not able to do it all, you find yourself feeling shame or low self-worth. If you can do it all, that may lead to ignoring health problems and pushing through. No one can do it all. And that is okay.
Right.
Say, no one can do it all, girl, and that's okay.
That's okay.
Ooh, yes. Unlearning those behaviors can look like saying no and not overextending when you do not have the bandwidth to take on a task. Ooh, y'all better learn about your bandwidth. You better learn. This leads to emotional stress. Just another layer that Black women must unpack and remove to make their load easier to manage. Aquanette, were you groomed early on to be a strong Black woman?
My goodness, yes. Early. Way too early. And we'll talk about that later.
So no, let's unpack that.
We can unpack it.
So tell us about that experience.
Sure, I'll go into it. Let's start with I'm the oldest in the family and in the household, I should say. And sometimes being the oldest, you're kind of like the right hand. And you don't really know this, but even early on, you're groomed to watch out for your younger siblings. It's almost like you're the second pair of eyes. You know what I'm saying? So basically, just even in that sense right there, and any of those people in listener land that have been the oldest, they kind of know what it feels like. And even if you look at birth order, you can usually tell who's the youngest and who's the who's the youngest and who's the oldest in the family. And it's no shade against either one, but usually the kid that's born first is the one that helps groom. I'm not saying it's always.
Because I put that down, you know.
But no, I do have to say that it's not always like that, but it is very common. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, a woman. I have friends that are the oldest male, and it's a certain level of like protection that they give. And I forget who I was speaking with, but they were basically saying, like, men that are the oldest in the family, when they are around women, they're usually more protective. And the men in the family that are like the youngest, they're more like respectful, if that makes any sense. They give more reverence to the older siblings. So anyway, I say all of that just to say, that those are things that we can tend to look at sometimes, just in being conditioned. And I don't think we do it on purpose, but I think it was an era where it was necessary. And now I don't think it's as necessary, because I was visiting my sister and just watching my nieces. And of course, one's older, one's younger, but it was just really beautiful for me to see them just be kids. My niece, my oldest niece, is at the age that I was when I was really I was overseeing, and I was, cooking meals and things like that. And I was in single digits.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't in double digits. So it was just beautiful for me to see my nieces just to be kids and not have to think about, well, did she do this? And talking about my sister, So, those are moments, and you just want to be able to make sure that you're not putting too much pressure on the older kids, no matter how many kids you have, because it can be a little, I don't want to say damaging, but if you don't take care of it and balance it out right, it can look a certain way, and then they take those things that they've learned into other relationships, and then it can cause friction.
Right. So has being a strong Black woman had any negative effects on your life?
I don't know if I'd call them negative, but it's definitely had an effect just on my perspective, on on my viewpoint of what I think is normal and what other people have said. I had a friend once, she actually told me, she said, you've been single this whole time and now I understand. I said, what do you mean you understand? She said, you've just always been the male. You've always been in charge of everything. I said, I don't know how to take that. But I think I understood what she meant. I've always been, I think some people call it hyper independent. So I don't ask for help. I'm always looking at every perspective in a 4-dimensional way. So if I don't see it one way, we're going to figure it out. There's 2 other options, at least 3 other options. So that's how I am. Some people may call it being stubborn, but yes,
it's okay to ask for help.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know it now.
Okay, I'm just gonna say so.
I know it now. Yeah, I know now.
Please ask for help if you need help.
Oh yeah, I know now.
Just want to make sure that we normalize that that's okay.
Yeah, help is what I should have done many times.
But I want to back to say, please also try to figure some things out for yourselves. Don't always be the person. Oh, I did this. But did you try to research it yourself?
Yeah, I always did that. Yeah,
I just want our listeners to know that.
Yeah,
sometimes do a little research yourself, then you come ask for some help. We don't need you knocking on everybody. No, help. What have you? Did you help yourself? You got to
do your part first.
Yes, most definitely. Okay, emotional healing takes some conscious action to assemble all of the broken parts into one complete whole. The procedure of emotional healing has some stages. Y'all know what I'm about to do. We're going to learn something today. Learning to acknowledge all of the emotions without being judgmental. This makes emotional healing a holistic process requiring enough skill and patience. So, let's talk about some of the stages of emotional healing. Can we do that, Aquanette?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's talk about it. There's a stage called surrendering to suffering.
Ooh-wee.
Emotional suffering comes from the denial of painful emotions. In an emotional healing process, it is certainly good to surrender to suffering. Do not try to escape from pain. Do be present with emotions. Feel the essence of the pain. Understand and feel the emotions to heal it. So how do you feel about that?
What I feel in those statements is basically when you cry, tell yourself it's okay to cry. Don't talk bad to yourself while you're releasing that emotion, because usually that's what crying is. It is a release. And if you're not properly releasing it, you could be crying, but you're still, saying bad things like, you're weak and you shouldn't be doing this. No, you should. Because the more you acknowledge and just accept that this is a part of you being better.
You got to be submissive to that.
Right. And that's what that surrendering that you were talking about. Yep. That's what it's about. So, and to surrender does not mean that you are weak. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. You are accepting what your reality is. And the more you accept it, the more clearer you'll be able to know how to move forward to the next step. Take it away, Kiana.
Because I'm going to tell you this. that just made my mind when you was talking. Think about something. I always tell people, I can't fix a lie. I can't help you fix a lie. But if you tell me the truth, we can figure out how to unpack it.
Right.
But if we fixing a lie, guess what? We didn't really fix anything.
That's right. Because like we said, we're very hard on ourselves, which also means if we're hard on ourselves, that means we're judgmental about what we are actually doing. And even if you did something wrong, just surrender to what it was and just know I'm releasing this because I do want better. I don't want to keep going through this.
Yes, most definitely. And there's another one that's called awareness leading to tolerance.
Tell us about this.
And that one is increasing awareness towards emotions enables one to name the feeling. Knowing the feelings is the first step to resolving the negative feelings. This is an action-based stage. Ooh, y'all got to do some work with this one, baby.
I hear you.
Where understanding painful emotions helps in healing wounds that are deep within. Knowing what emotions state can better equip one to cope with it. Ooh, that's our favorite word, awareness.
Awareness.
You know, we gotta just do us a list of words that we have favorites over here on our County Skills podcast. Ooh, y'all, you gotta increase that awareness towards those emotions because they're gonna enable you to be able to name that feeling.
And it also helps you to just be comfortable with what it is you're going through. When you can put a name on something, it's almost like it's a relief. Like, oh, that's what it is. Now I know what it is. So, yeah, wow. Keep going. I'm loving this.
Yes. The next one talks about confrontation of emotional blockage.
Ooh.
Emotional healing objectively faces emotional pain. This results in confronting the emotional issue that has been avoided. Relief is seen in this stage as running away from problems can make things worse. Be ready to face the emotional blockage. Y'all got to be ready to face it.
You got to be vulnerable with yourself.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
Do have honest, what's our honest self-talk.
I love it, yes.
To analyze emotional problems. Identify the emotional triggers and then face them. After facing negative feelings, try to accept them and you can find yourself feeling better. Gotta face them.
That's right. Yeah.
It's gonna be a little that emotional blockage, but you gotta just go ahead, live through it, press through it. You gotta do it.
Yeah, you do.
There's another one called unavoidable expression.
Tell
us.
us
What that's talking about. After confronting painful emotions, one begins to avoid them. Ooh.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm kind of shrugging my shoulders here. Tell me a little bit more about that one.
Let me. I'm gonna stop right there, but then we're gonna go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's got me sad.
Look, that's got us both.
You told us up there we're doing this, but now I'm trying to avoid it. Okay, if you say so.
And is this purposely avoiding?
And it says in this stage, learn to honor. So basically, purposely doing it, because it says in this stage, learn to honor the pain and to heal. One must learn to express their emotions. Crying when feeling sad, yelling, screaming in an empty room can help release your unexpressed anger.
Yeah. Oh my
Just
goodness.
had to scream. Somebody's probably gonna call security. But sorry, if we get a knock on the door. When now y'all hear me say sorry, pause for a minute, security's at the door. That was me making an outburst. But I wanted to show you that sometimes, see how I was in the middle of this moment and I just did this? Sometimes you just gotta do it. Sorry, y'all. I know it's probably hurt your eardrums. I'm sorry. Never allow emotions to linger in the physical body for too long.
How do we do that though?
Ooh, let me tell you what it's going to do if you leave it there.
Okay.
As it leads towards mental exhaustion and withdrawal. Through time and patience, movement towards recovery will take place. So to answer your question, you just got to deal with it, acknowledge it, deal with it, and slowly move toward facing it.
Yeah, and see, that's where the work comes in at. It really does. And you mentioned something earlier, right before avoiding. Now, to me, that says that we are needing to establish boundaries with what or who has hurt us if we could.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm following you. Look, I'm learning today too, listener land. I'm learning today too.
Listener land. Another one talks about acceptance of feelings. Acceptance is the stage that makes room to feel empty of feelings. Feeling numb about all the painful experiences is certainly possible. As if it has become an embedded part of the soul. On accepting the undesirable emotions, there is a mastery of them. The pain will go away by no longer ruling the present thoughts and feelings. The struggle is over, and then the growth does occur. May not seem like it.
It's
but you
over
go through all this
time.
over time.
Yeah.
The stage tests the emotional tenacity and brings out the best. Ooh, I don't know why. Y'all always resonate with songs. And this, let me tell you what just popped in my brain. He saw the best in me. Ooh, Marvin Sapp just popped in my head. See, I told you, if y'all are just now tuning in, or this is your first episode, songs, I resonate a lot with music. And you'll oftentimes find me teaching you through songs or music or through an artist. Because that's what helps me to cope in life. I just love music.
It's your emotional connection.
Yes, it's my emotional connection. So old habits break off and one is ready to accept the change. So you have to break off those generational curses, all the boundaries. Baggage. Choosing to heal emotionally from the old familiar pattern of hurt and disappointments, followed by acceptance and awareness, takes us a step toward that recovery that we're so longing for.
Right.
Because you really, when you're in these stages of unpacking your emotional bondage and baggage.
And feeling all of the feelings.
You're ready to unpack it.
Yeah.
It just takes time. Because you truly want your soul to be liberated.
Yeah. You want that freedom.
Yes, because the soul liberates itself from emotional blockages and it moves toward growth and well-being, allowing profound spiritual growth to take place.
And a better and happier trajectory in your life. Yeah.
Yes. So, Aquanette, what stage of emotional healing would you say that you would identify the most with?
Oh my goodness. So there are a couple of challenging areas. That's what I would like to call it. Some challenging areas of emotional healing. Recently, I am accepting, how can I put it? I'm accepting that it's okay if I still care about somebody, even if they've hurt my feelings. And that's hard. It's hard to, because, you can be around some people and they're like, I would have never, I'm not. And some people can just cut people off. But I'm not wired like that. And I used to feel very guilty for still caring about people, even if they have done me wrong, because I have to go through a phase of, well, forgive yourself because you fell for it again. And that took a minute for me to go through. But creating boundaries so that I don't fall back into that. And I know we've talked about that in some other episodes also. That actually comes a little bit easier, but it's the part afterwards. Because especially, it could be a family member that you're going to see regularly. It could be a coworker that you're going to have to interact with regularly. And sometimes, we do want to see the good in everybody. Right. And sometimes some of us have a longer fuse than others, and sometimes we just look past the red flags altogether. And I'll admit, transparency moment, I'll look past the red flags, but now I don't look at them. Well, I won't say I look past them, but I'll notice them, but now I understand, like, okay, you know how you are, you know how you're wired, don't go any further. Right. Whereas before I would see it and be like, oh, they're just having a bad day. Oh, this is just the way that person is. But at the same time, if you have established what you consider to be a rapport with a coworker, and then they disappoint you or they throw you under the bus or something like that, yeah, you may get angry, you may get mad, but there are some people out there that are so doggone charismatic. It's like, you know what, I can't stand you. I can't trust you as far as I can throw you. But you are so funny. Why do you have to be so darn funny?
Well, so likable, but
right,
you're likable.
Right. So, that's one of the challenges that I have, just accepting that I understand that I'm wired this way, and I still care about people. And some people can just give them the cold shoulder and be done. And don't get me wrong, it's been a few I have just been like, yeah, no, and you're blocked.
Now let us discuss time frame from healing from emotional distress and traumatic experiences. Time heals all wounds is one of the most popular sayings, but it may not be completely true. Although time is not exactly a healer, It can have healing purposes. Ultimately, let's think about this. Ultimately, though, it is up to you to find ways to achieve healing during the time that passes after experiencing a wound or trauma.
This the work you have to put in. You can't just sit there and think it's going to go away.
Yep. Some people will recover from emotional trauma after days or weeks, while others may experience more long-term effects when, even when symptoms have subsided. Emotional trauma can cause painful memories or emotions long after the event, typically in response to certain triggers.
I was going to say that. Yeah, that's another word we're going to write down, triggers.
So do you believe that time heals all wounds?
I don't believe time itself does, because if you're a person like myself, you don't forget. You don't forget how they made you feel.
Right.
That's what Maya Angelou said, and it was so true. But it's some work that you have to put into it. And I didn't realize that until later in life, because it had been years since some people had disappointed me in my earlier 20s. And then, you may run into that person one more time and it's like the feelings are still there. And it shouldn't even be that way. It's been 15, 20 years. Like, why do I still have this, angst? But the key is to make sure that you are putting in the work that you need to put into. And everybody's going to have different things that they have to work on. And just because you've done something that helps you move past it doesn't mean that that's going to work for me.
Right. See, I believe that time can help make things hurt less. They can make them hurt a little less.
Yeah.
But it's not a healer on its own.
And you don't get delivered, as the church says.
Come on, church. Whether you are going through a breakup, grieving the loss of a loved one, or just simply going through something else that's emotionally taxing, plenty of other factors are involved in the healing process. I believe the cliche, again, that time heals our wound, does not tell the whole story.
Correct. Yeah, I'll agree with you.
It just don't tell the whole story. It doesn't paint the whole picture, as well as time's true role in healing. The nature of the wound itself can affect how time influences the healing.
Yeah.
Your trauma may be different from my trauma, or we could experience the same trauma. We could be in the same room when something traumatic happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how I heal from it and move on may be totally different from you. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
So try not to guilt yourself if you heal slower than you want to.
Right.
Everybody heals on their own timeline. So offer yourself grace.
That's right.
And patience. As I prepare for episodes, like I always say, music resonates with me. So as I was doing this episode, I don't know how many of you all are Kirk Franklin fans, but the song Imagine Me came to my mind. Do you know that song, Aquanet? The song Imagine Me by Kirk Franklin is an uplifting and empowering anthem. It's so crazy because when I do these episodes, I have this mind where in my mind I'm singing a song, but I'm trying to stay focused. Yeah, I got to work on that. I don't know what's wrong. Y'all, anybody knows me knows I'm wired a little differently, but that's a whole nother. You have to really know me to know me. But in the back of my head, I'm singing while talking, and sometimes I want to just, my mouth wants to go ahead and vocally sing, but then I'm like, girl, we in an episode. So, never mind.
I know what you mean. I used to feel like I needed 3 or 4 mouths to say everything that needed to be going on in my head.
All them other personalities. That's
we got it.
All them other personalities be going on. But anyway, the song Imagine Me by Kirk Franklin is an uplifting and empowering, if I can talk, anthem that explores the journey of self-acceptance, healing, and moving beyond past pain and insecurities.
Yeah.
The lyric speaks to the artist's personal experiences as well as the struggles that many individuals face in terms of self-worth, self-esteem, and finding true happiness. The song starts with the concept of imagining oneself in a state of self-love and commitment and contentment when looking in the mirror. That you're going to be committed to looking at yourself with that contentment in that mirror.
Yeah.
Appreciating one's own reflection It suggests a desire to let go of insecurities and experience genuine happiness. This notion of inner peace and freedom is reinforced throughout the song. There is a strong emphasis on overcoming past traumas and challenges, such as the lyrics referencing letting go of what the individual's mother or father did. It highlights the importance of healing and moving forward, refusing to let the pain define them. The chorus expresses the liberation and trust found in a relationship with God.
Yeah.
It suggests that finding solace in God's love can dismantle fears and allow for a sense of safety and freedom from insecurity. It acknowledges the struggle of embracing the idea that God could love someone like the artist that was in such turmoil with himself, ultimately conveying self-acceptance.
Right.
The bridge emphasizes the act of releasing the past and embracing a second chance at life. It evokes a feeling of joy and optimism, alluding to the opportunity to create a better future without receiving past mistakes and pain. The spoken portion towards the end serves as a powerful affirmation and encouragement. It speaks directly to those struggling with insecurities, lack of acceptance, and low self-esteem.
Right.
It portrays a message of hope, reminding listeners that negative experiences and emotions of the past can be let go and replaced with a sense of liberation and new beginnings.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to share some of the lyrics with you if you don't mind. Letting go of all the ones who hurt me, because they never did deserve me. Can you imagine me? Saying no to the thoughts that tried to control me. Remembering all you told me. Lord, can you imagine me? Over what my mama said and healed from what my daddy did. And I want to live and not read that page again. Imagine me being free, trusting you totally. Finally, I can. Imagine me. I admit it was hard to see you being in love with someone like me. Finally, I can. Imagine me. Being strong and not letting people break me down. You won't get that joy this time around. Can you imagine me?
That's a testimony song.
In a world where nobody has to live afraid because of your love, fear's gone away. Can you imagine me? Letting go of my past. Glad I have another chance and my heart will dance because I don't have to read that page again. Glory. That's something for you to shout about when you can go through all that hurt and look at yourself and say, self-imagine me in a better place. Go ahead and forgive them.
Yep.
Because I can look to God from which my help comes. And it's all gone, those traumatic experiences. If you have not listened to the song or you're not familiar with the song, please, and even if you have listened to it, go back and listen to it again. Because, you're talking about if you want to unpack emotional healing and trauma, that's a good song to help you unpack.
To help you pour back into yourself. Yeah.
It is, it's just, I wish we could actually play some of the song on this episode, but for copyright reasons, we can't. Let me plug that. But I really do want you all to go and listen to the song because it's powerful. It is, I guess I'm over here getting emotional because when you've been through some things in life and when you can understand and you can relate to some lyrics, it's like, it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's uplifting when you can say, that used to be me.
Yeah, because you've moved past it.
Yeah,
you have healed. You allowed yourself to feel the feelings and you've healed. So it resonates with you. Yeah.
So I'm glad that I have another chance. And my heart would dance. When I say I felt that lyric, your heart will dance when you rejoice and knowing that it's gone, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
You know, like if you're driving in a car It's in your rearview mirror. Leave it in your rear view.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to look back there sometime, but you're not going to go back and live.
No. You take off running and you don't look back.
Yes. You're out of the valley.
Yeah, that's it.
And you're going to get to the mountain. Because you're not going to always be in the valley, people.
That's right.
Not always going to be in that valley. I know I'm talking to somebody. Ooh, I don't know. Y'all, I'm sorry. Something is coming over me. I told y'all things come over me in certain episodes. And I don't know who this is for. But I hear God saying, it's over. It's gone.
Yeah.
The pain that you are experiencing, let it go. If you got to go and cry about that thing. But let it go.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is a new day.
That's right. Yeah.
Rejoice and be glad in it. Rejoice for the beauty in the ashes. Y'all not hearing me. I tell y'all sometimes. This is personal for me. So be able to reach somebody. And if down there, y'all, this is true. I told you, I get very transparent. Like when stuff come to me, I'm not a prophetess. I'm not a prophet. But sometimes things come to me. And like sitting here, it's just saying, it's over. It's gone. Whatever it is. Some of you are on the verge. Somebody, I don't know when this is going to end, but it's telling my spirit is saying this is going to hit somebody.
Yeah.
It's needed. It's needed. It's not over. You still have breath in your body.
That's right.
As long as you have breath in your body, you're going to unpack that trauma. Like I tell y'all, sometimes during these episodes, it brings up feelings and emotions in me. Sometimes I'm revisiting some things, but I know it's over, it's gone. So guess what? I just have to share and let you know I have lived to see another day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rejoice, and you're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Because unpacking emotional baggage is not going to be cute. You're going to be stretched out on your face. You may be crying, want to bang your head against the wall. Now, don't bang your head against that wall. You're going to want to, but you got to let it all out.
Feel it. You got to feel all of it to get past it.
You got to get past it. Let it hurt.
Yeah.
Let it hurt.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You're going to live to see another day.
Yeah, and it'll be better.
Yes. Whew, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in here just crying, but something came over me. And when it happens, I have to give it to you raw, rough, and however it comes out. So, guys, honestly, I want you to take some time out and imagine yourself letting go of the trauma that you have endured and open your mind to embrace emotional healing. You may not be ready to do this today. Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm sorry for sniffing, but to do this today or tomorrow. But I challenge you to embrace this when you're ready, because I want those of you that are emotionally scarred to find joy and to really start living life to your fullest, to the fullest, so you can find your fullest potential. Joy is everything. Aquanet, before we wrap up this episode, what advice would you give to the people regarding unpacking and healing from unpleasant experiences they may have endured?
Well, just as we've said earlier in the episode, just allow yourself the patience to feel everything that you need to feel, because that is where the actual healing comes in at. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to dismiss those feelings, because the more we dismiss them, people talk about they have scars. Really, you don't have a scar. You have a wound. The wound is still open. A scar means that it has healed up. And there's always a reminder, like we've said before, when you know you've been actually healed and delivered. But the thing is, you can look down at that scar, at that reminder, and just remember, I used to be there, but look at where I'm at now. So make sure you focus on those steps there.
Yes, because it will truly bring you joy.
On the other side, you just got to go through it.
Yes. And we oftentimes say, and I'm guilty of it, Why me, God?
Ooh,
Why me?
ooh, that's a
Why?
big one. That is a big one.
Why me?
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned to say it's okay. People say don't question God.
No, I was just about to say that's
what
right.
I'm thinking anyway. So what difference does it make?
I was just about to
Like,
say that
come
it's
on,
okay
somebody.
to ask why.
Yes,
It really is
why?
okay.
But don't stay in that why.
There you go.
Then you turn that why around to why not me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, why not me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because, baby, if he brings the storm, he's going to bring me a weatherproof umbrella
Okay.
to endure.
That's right.
Because, baby, I'm built. Sometimes I tell myself, Kiana, you're built like a palm tree, baby. You be bending, when that wind
yeah.
come. Woo! Y'all seen, let me just paint a quick little picture because I know we got to wrap this up, but you know when you go by the car lots and those little, what do you call them? The things from the advertisement.
The inflatable.
The inflatable, yeah. And it be moving.
Yeah.
Baby, when you pass by one of them, I just want you to laugh and say, woo, that used to be me. Or you could say, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? It's not going to be you for long.
That's right. Yeah.
Because, baby, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
I be, woo, swinging like a palm tree, baby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But guess what? I may have bent a little. I didn't break.
That's right.
Woo, baby. I didn't break.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't break. You can bend.
Yeah. He won't break you.
But you can't break.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because if you break, it's like giving up.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a season. You can't give up. You got to unpack this baggage, this
That's
trauma.
right. Mm-hmm.
You got to get past some things. Like I said, I don't know who I'm talking to, but this is the year. This is the season to start unpacking things.
And work on unpacking it. It is an action. It is not just sitting there and waiting for time to pass you by.
And let me just say something right here. I don't know why this is coming to me. Pull you out some paper and a pencil and write down you some steps of how you're going to unpack that thing.
Yeah.
And guess what? And I want you to keep looking at it until you have achieved what you wrote down. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times we'll say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. But guess what? We get so busy. Mm-hmm. Now, don't just write this on the paper and go throw the notebook or the journal somewhere and you don't revisit it. I need this in a place where you're going to see it each and every day.
Like you said earlier, you have to find a place and a space where you're committed to the actual healing process.
Yes.
And we can't treat it like a regular idea because this is depending on your happiness and livelihood. If you really want it, if you're ready for it.
Yes. And that's the key word right there. If you're really ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because all of it will be in vain if you're not ready for it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because you have to get yourself equipped. Put on the whole armor of God if you're about to deal with this. Because some of y'all got some traumatic experiences.
And do not put a time limit on it. But continue to revisit until you feel some sort of reprieve and you understand that things aren't affecting you to where you're so reactive before. But do not put a time limit on it. Go at your own pace and feel all the feelings.
Yes, you said it. We're going to end it right there. Thank you again, Aquanet, for being my co-host on the I Am Kiana Scales podcast. Real talk. There is no timestamp on trauma. Mm-hmm. There is not a formula that you can insert yourself into get from horror to heal.
Ooh.
I don't think they heard me.
One more time.
There is not a formula that you can insert yourself into to get from horror to healed. Mm-hmm. That's a mouthful right there. Be patient.
Yeah.
Let your journey be your preparation for healing. There is no finish line to cross that signifies you are fully healed. Emotional healing can sometimes be so gradual, you may not even realize how much you've healed, and others may notice it before you. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to I Am Kiana Scales on YouTube and follow I Am Kiana Scales on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. Also download the Streets 99.3 app. Ladies, are you looking for the hottest fashions and accessories? Well, look no further. The Closet Experience has you covered. The Closet Experience has been delighting women of all ages and sizes since 2009. Visit theclosetexperience.com and save 10% with code PODCAST. That's PODCAST. The Closet Experience Boutique, where fashion and budget meet. The Closet Experience Boutique, where fashion and budget meet.
Looking for homemade taste with a touch of elegance? Visit justadelight.com and let Delightful Cakes and Catering cater your next event or special occasion. Delightful Cakes and Catering, where homemade taste meets elegant simplicity.
Real talk, real people, relevant conversations. The I Am Kiana Scales podcast.